Today I would like to show you a fantastic new concept which is called registration project. This is my first MIDI computer, Atari ST, from the late 80s and the early 90s. This computer is connected via MIDI directly to Genos 2. MIDI out from Atari to MIDI in port A Genos 2. The time gap is 40 years between Atari ST and Genos 2, but it still works. And the reason why I connected these two devices is that I have a song which is a typical song from the 80s, here programmed on ST. Sweet Dreams, Eurythmics. And here you see Notator SL, also with event list, score is there, everything is possible with MIDI. And the most important and most interesting thing is this system is pattern based. And not only the system but also the music of the 80s is pattern based. You see here on the left side, pattern change. Okay? And Notator is, let's say, the most famous pattern-based sequencer program have been used in this time for music production. And you see here on the left side are the patterns, and here is the content of the pattern. Every pattern consists of 16 tracks. Here are the parameters for every track. And here is a small button which is called Arrange. And if the Arrange button is on, the song playback will be a linear sequence of patterns. In our Yamaha keyboards, we are able to reproduce this kind of music creation or music production with multipads. Every multipad set has 4 tracks. And what is inside here? Let's check it out. And you see, we can reproduce these parts of the pattern individually, track by track. And how is it now possible to play all these parts together? By using Synchro Start Multipad. We can do like this. Now you see all the multipads are in sync mode, and this mode can be recalled by the registration. Okay, let's stop the multipad again, and I recall the first registration like this, and you see all the 4 pads of the multipad set are in synchro start mode, and now I can use the auto accompaniment, but not as an auto accompaniment. You see all the auto accompaniment section is off, not in sync, but accompaniment is on. And this is a little bit strange, right? Because we don't use the auto accompaniment, but we have to switch the auto accompaniment on. And the reason is, if auto accompaniment is on, the chord recognition is active. And we need the chords to control the multipads. But all this programming work is done for you. Simply recall the first registration and press the chord in the chord detection area. It it works. And of course, it works in any key. Now I played in the original key, like in C minor. Let's play in F minor. Works fine. Or let's play in A minor. Or let's check in E flat minor. Okay, works. That means simply recall the first registration and okay, perfect. And now we have to change the pattern. And pattern change means we have to change the multipad set. And this, of course, again, via registration. Watch this. Here you see registration 2 recalls the second set. You see also here Sweet Dreams number 2, like this. Don't forget, we don't have simply the registration here. It is a registration project. And that means every registration has its individual assets. And this is the most important story of registration project files. Back in the 80s, we produced songs like this. We had one song file, and the size of this song was some hundreds of kilobytes. Everything of the song is on one double density disk. That's all we have, because we have no additional assets, like in Logic, for example. If you compare this concept of pattern-based music production back in the 80s with the music production of today, a Logic file is of course much more than only a control file for a tone generator. Here we have only the control data for this tone generator, in this case Genos 2. But for the complete music production we need even more. A song file, a Logic file of today is much more than only a control file. You see here a project. This is a Logic project file. Here is the original song file, and here you see the assets, the audio files and the samples which are needed for this song. That means every Logic song, every Pro Tools song or whatever we produce, Cubase and so on, are project files. And this is exactly the concept of registration project files. You see here the folder of the project. Here in this case, Sweet Dreams for Genos 2. We have also produced versions for Genos 1 and the SX series. Let's take this project. You see here the assets. Audio, I will explain later. Here are the multipad sets, 10 multipad sets, SMF MIDI files, and the registration bank, and also a playlist file. The registration bank file is something like the song file for Logic, and here are the assets: audio, multipads, and MIDI files. And as soon as you connect your USB stick to your instrument, the registration file will automatically find and link to the corresponding audio files, multipads, and MIDI files. Okay, we learned a registration project file loads several data like multipad sets, like MIDI files or audio. We have seen audio inside of the project file. And what is the audio for? The audio is the explanation. Simply recall the registration and the title Sweet Dreams is a pattern-oriented song. That means you have the explanation directly on your instrument, like this. The title Sweet Dreams, this is the audio part of the project, is a pattern-oriented song. Simply press play. It is recreated by using the 4 tracks of the multipad section of your instrument. And it means you can simply hear, like a tutorial, directly on your instrument. On the left side, audio. And on the right side, we have additional MIDI files. It is recreated by using the 4 tracks of the multipad section of your instrument. That means without a style. Okay, stop the explanation. Why don't we use the style? What is the advantage of the multipads compared to the accompaniment styles? Finally, we want to play a song. And this song uses the accompaniment system 8CMP. Accompaniment or ABC, auto, bass, chord. And on the other side we have the multipad system. And all these things are played by a player, and this player plays chords. And these chords are the input values of the accompaniment system. The player plays the chords are controlling the accompaniment and also controlling the multipads. That means also for the multipads we need the chords for the so-called chord matched multipads. Accompaniment system consists of 8 tracks. Rhythm 1, Rhythm 2, bass, chord 1, chord 2, pad, phrase 1 and phrase 2. 8 tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tracks. On the other side, we have multipads. 4 pads only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here we have, for the styles, a well-defined track layout. That means the track layout for bass is fixed and also for rhythm 1 and rhythm 2. We are not able in a style to create, for example, 4 rhythm styles or something like that. Here, in the case of multipads, we have the full flexibility. We can program or we can use 4 drum parts, 4 drum loops, or we can use 1 drum instrument, a 2nd drum instrument, a 3rd drum instrument, and a melody instrument, or 4 melody instruments. We have the possibility to use the multipads as a one-shot, which is not possible with tracks, or as looped. That means we can use them as looped, as one shot. We can combine 4 different tracks with a variable length. That means we can combine a loop of 2 bars with a loop of 3 bars. And the next multipad can consist of 16 bars if you want. And that means we have a huge amount of possibilities. That means if we want to create a pattern like this, that we have a pattern with 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks, we can create a linear sequence of the second, of the third pattern, of the fourth pattern, and so on. And we can take as much as we want. Let's name it N. In case of the styles, we have 15 sections. 15 sections. That means we have 3 intros, 3 endings, 4 main sections, 4 fill-in sections, and 1 break fill-in. And that means that a style is a system which is a own ecosystem, like a well-defined track layout. We have no possibility to play in such a one-shot element like we can do in multipads, and we have the limitation of 15 sections. And in this case, if we use the multipads, then we are able as much patterns as we want. And finally, this is the reason why for pattern-based music the multipads are really a good idea. Pattern-based songs. Any style is limited to 15 sections. 3 intros, 3 endings, 4 main sections, 4 fill-ins and 1 break fill-in. Whereas the multipads are basically one pattern of 4 tracks. And the number of accessible multipads is unlimited. Use and handling of a registration project file is just as easy as the use of a regular registration bank. After downloading the project, you find this folder here. For Genos 2, for example, Sweet Dreams G2. This is the registration project folder. And here inside you find the registration and all the data for the function of the registration bank. Now you connect this SIG containing the registration project folder to your instrument. Take care only to connect one USB device. Then you press registration plus and minus at the same time. And you can, it depends what you see, you change to user and you will see this folder, Sweet Dreams Genos 2. Open this folder and voila, here is the registration bank and everything is set up. You can also use the playlist. Simply press the playlist button, select this, change to user, change to USB 1, and here inside the folder you find this playlist. And if you press playlist again and you see here Sweet Dreams Genos 2, press load or also possible enter. If you press enter, then you see, zack, the first registration is already selected and you can immediately start like this. All right. So, and the next important thing is if you press direct access and registration plus, you see the names of the registrations. Any registration, every registration has a special name, and inside the name you see also the chord progression you have to play if you want to play the song in the original key. For example, registration 2, there is A flat major, G major, C minor, because here C minor, F minor, and the melody tone is E flat. That means melody tone, like melody tone is E flat, yeah? That means you start like this. And so you can easily play this part in any situation. Or for example here, in the fourth registration, the chord progression you have to play, if you want to play in the original key, then it is C minor and F, and you have to play like this. Okay, and here the fifth registration you see synth solo, you have to play only C minor, like this. Okay, now let's go back to the tutorial audio, which is a part of the registration project, and let's listen what the guy has to say. The required multipad sets, the sounds as well as the tempo, are set by the registration memories and started by playing a chord in the chord detection area of your keyboard by using the synchro start function of multipads. Any registration records a song-specific multipad set. First registration. Second registration. Third registration. It's a little bit different than the first. The first is like this. Only the bass drum. The third is bass drum and snare, okay? So then the fourth registration, what is going on here? Okay, this is the bridge. Okay, fourth registration. And here is also a trick. The trick is the usage of the sustain pedal. The sustain pedal stops everything, because in the fifth registration I have to restart like this. Every individual registration loads additional data like multipad sets, audio data and MIDI files. To play this song, we need only the multipads. We can completely recreate this song with multipads only. The question is, especially for you, if you buy this registration project, what part of the song I have to play with and how is it to play. And for this reason, every registration records a specific MIDI file, and this MIDI file shows the part of the song, how to play this part with this specific registration. And this MIDI file is automatically set by the registration. For example, first registration, MIDI file, score, melody, second registration, everything is there, also the chords and everything. A short MIDI file what shows what is going on inside of this part. Third registration. fourth registration. Okay, this is the same what I can play. Yeah, exactly the same. It is also played using this registration. Fifth registration. And it means okay. Sixth registration, MIDI file. Okay, let's do this. Perfect. Seventh registration, let's play the MIDI file. Okay, fantastic. Seventh. Works. Eighth registration. Okay, let's check it out. Exactly the same. Ninth registration. Let's play it. Ninth registration. Works perfect. 10th registration, MIDI file. This is the end. And also here, let's play it. Playback of the multipad. There is one more thing. With multipads, we can do even more. We can play multipads and style simultaneously. And everything is prepared for that. Simply select a registration and press Synchro Start Style. A suitable style is already selected.